Peace, 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 everybody. Peace. Hope everybody doing all right. Grand rising, everyone. I hope you're doing all right on this wonderful Thursday. Yeah, I'm here, you know what I'm saying, back in, trying to go make things happen, So, a lot of things just, been happening, uh, been kind of checking out about what's happening around Jackson, around Jacktown, you know, and yeah, all these court cases and stuff that's going on with the former mayor and stuff was going on with the new chief of police, Brackney, and her contract. It's a lot of stuff going on. It's all up in the air. Folks don't really want to. They don't want to. Some of the city council members is having mixed feelings about this contract. Because of the stipulations in it. She if she gets terminated for some apparent reason, she remains. She'll still get a salary or whatever the case may be. But nevertheless, that's 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 something that they're gonna have to air out because um, you know what kind of you know I mean I understand her expertise and things of that nature, you know, but that remains to be seen, and I'm not saying that she ain't gonna do a good job because I don't underestimate nobody and their abilities because I don't want nobody to underestimate me and my abilities. So we you know but like I said, that contract should have been brought to the forefront. See, I think that the strategy was made with that contract. They was waiting to get her affirmed. Then that contract was coming. Because I believe if that contract would have came before the affirmment, guess what? She would have not got affirmed. I mean, leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about that. I'm just gonna keep it a buck here. If that contract was brought out before she got affirmed, she wouldn't have got affirmed because there's been a lot of mixed feelings about that. And then they probably would have changed some of those stipulations inside that contract. You know, yeah, we can affirm it, but we're going to have to do that. And, of course, that's going to go in executive session. So, hey, you know, but here's the deal. I don't want that to. I don't want that to make her leave. I want her to continue doing her job if she truly loves this city. Because you got, come on, y'all know what's up. Sometimes you got some of these people out here. They'll come into these major cities and they'll work here for a minute and then they'll get on down, make their bread and get on down. They're going about their business. They don't really give a ding dong about the city. And I really hope that she's not, doing that like that, because the city going through financial problems anyway. They going through financial problems, and for somebody like that to come and play the city like that, bruh, yo, there need to be something in these contracts that when the city is going through financial hardship, you know, there should be something to give the city a cushion in case, because where's the insurance? You know, we got an insurance. Let's talk about that for a minute. Where's the insurance on the conduct, on that conduct? You know, I mean, I'm not saying that she is, but I'm just saying, I'm just giving an example. If we had somebody, if there was somebody to come in and be chief of police, and let's say their conduct ain't right, this is just for an example, right? But then you got this contract that's like really in their favor, and you got to terminate them, bro. I ain't feeling that. I ain't feeling that. I'm not feeling that. Because that's unfair. And especially if the city is struggling. Especially if the city had to go find money to pay them. They say, well, if you don't pay me this amount, I walk. And I'm not selling for nothing else. I'm not going to settle. Okay, cool. Right? So, but then you come up with this contract. We know contract makes the law. You know, because, you know, but the thing about it is that, is it conscionable? Is it going to benefit the city? Is it going to benefit the two parties, so to speak? You know, is it going to benefit the two parties? Her and the city? See, that's the question you have to ask. Whereas if that thing one-sided, that ain't right. If the benefit is for one-sided, that ain't right. Especially when there's leverage involved. If that contract creates a leverage where the city is being like, well, if I quit or if I resign, if I do something to make myself get fired, I still get my bread. I'm not saying that that's what's happening in this case. But I'm just using that as an example to show you, you know, this is what happens when or if you have a one-sided contract with one-sided leverage, rather. You know, when you got a contract with one-sided, when the leverage is one-sided, that ain't good. That ain't good. This thing should be straight down the middle, no ambiguity. Don't say something or put something in a contract just because you want them there. You feel that you feel that they're going to do a good job. Come on, man. Anybody could produce a good feeling. Anybody could produce a good feeling. It's not what you know, it's what you can prove. What you know about this person. And I'm not speaking about Dr. Brackney. I'm speaking about people in general. I mean, that could be an interim CFO of a company, an interim CFO, CEO, an interim CEO. That could be an interim secretary. That could be an interim of anybody. Somebody that's coming in trying to get the job. What is we looking at here when we talking about this type of stuff? I mean, come on. I mean, it can't be one-sided. I always believe it's supposed to be a win-win deal. I'm sorry to say it, but, you know, I mean, myself, I hadn't read that contract. I hadn't read the contract. I don't know if they put it up online or not. Put a contract up online or whatever the case may be. I don't know if that's public knowledge, but I would like to read it myself. You know, I kind of understand a little bit about contracts. So I mean, but I would like to read it, kind of see, I mean, because I want to know if this thing's a one-sided deal, as far as leverage wise. Leverage. Where does the city win with this? Not with just your services. Heck, you can pay for that. But what leverage do you have? Does the city have leverage? So I'm just curious. But but all in all, I hope they get it all straightened out and everything, and and it's a win-win deal for the city of Jackson and for Dr. Bradley. Big ups to her, big ups to her family, and let's move the city forward and try to see if we can make some things happen, make some things change, because a lot of stuff needs to change. A lot of stuff that's going on here in the city needs to change. The way we interact with the police sucks. And I mean, let's just keep it a buck here. And since this Capitol Police crap didn't happen, I feel this is the first time I'm ever say I feel, right? But I feel like those people downtown want their own city. They want their own government. Because you got your own, they got their own police. And they got their own judicial system. You know what I'm saying? So what's next? I mean, so who's part of that administration? Who's running that? Because if you got a judicial and you got your own police, who's part of that? Who's got the administrative part? And is there a secondary council? Come on now, let's keep that a buck here. You got two separate polices, right? Now, we all understand separation of powers. We know the police belongs to the administration. Jackson Police belongs to the mayor. He's part. That's the administration. Then you got the judicial branch, right? That's your county clerk, circuit court, civil courts, and all that. That's your judicial branch. Okay, then you got the city council. So now we got a new let's say we got a Capitol Police. So who that Capitol Police, who they belong to? What administration does that Capitol Police report to? They got a judicial, they got their own judicial system downtown. So I mean, what's going on? Where's the other parts of the separation of powers of that particular power? Because if there's a Capitol Police, then there's got to be an administration somewhere. Then there's got to be a legislative part. So what's really going on? It's just all mind-boggling to me. I ain't never seen nothing like that before. Not in no city. Just like New York. In New York, they had back in the days, they used to have, you had housing police, you had transit police, and then you had your regular city police, right? So each one of them had their own jurisdiction, but they all still serve up under one, right? They still serve up under one. So if they saw somebody breaking the law, they still can get on the horn. They still can go after that criminal and stop that criminal from doing harm. transit police. Just because somebody committed a crime on the train, they can't run. They run up the stairs, and the transit police can't do nothing. Nah, transit police going after them. Nah, bro. See, that was all up under one. You see, but then eventually, after a period of time, they merged everybody. But my point is, what is this all about here? What is this all about? See, there was no, see what I'm saying? Because, see, like I said, like, I'm just going to go back real quick about New York, for example. There was never a separation, you know, like the transit police had, like, you know, its own administration. It was, you know what I'm saying? You know, they had their own, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, if I'm not mistaken, I think they did have their own chief of police, if I'm not mistaken. I think they did. But they all came up under the commissioner. One commissioner. They had one, it was up under one commissioner. You know? They had one up under one commissioner. So, you know, but like I said, this right here in Jackson, with the Capitol Police, I don't know how that works. But I know they got their own chief of police. And I'm like, okay, so I'm like, if you got a chief of police, well, who's the commissioner? Who's the commissioner over this that's over this thing? Because they report to the mayor. The commissioner is supposed to report to the mayor. Those chiefs of police, if they're running separate jurisdiction, let them run separate jurisdictions. But they still operate up under one. And that's the commissioner. That's what it should be. It should be one. It should be. I mean, they should all run up under one, but they're up under their own jurisdiction. No one can impede on the other. City of Jackson got theirs. Capitol Police got theirs. If they're gonna do it like that, they need to do it like that, or just merge them. Make them one unit. But I'm looking at it like something going on. Then you got the sheriff department. It's like, you know, the sheriff department. I don't knock the sheriff department because they rocking and rolling. But my point is this: if we got the police, if the police department, the Jackson Police Department and the Capitol Police Department is doing their job, why does the sheriff need to come in? The sheriff ain't got nothing to do with this. There ought to be a jurisdiction issue. Just because it's in Hinds County, you know. But there should be some type of limitation of jurisdiction. You know, if it's under control, unless they need assistance, then, you know, because just think about it. You don't see, okay. For example, let me give you an example. Just like Raymond, Raymond, Mississippi, right? Raymond, Mississippi got their own police department. They got the Raymond Police, right? Then you got that little outside towns of, you know. If the sheriff is called for to come out, you know, for some type of, you know, issue, you don't see those police officers assisting them. They go out there and they take care of their business. That's where they're supposed to be, out in the rural areas. Police, there ain't no police going out there. They're just like, for example, they're just like, I'm going to give you another example. I'm going to just kind of look at it like this. It's like you got the sheriff of Copiah County. If something happened down in, let's say, Martinville, Mississippi, you don't got Hazelhurst police coming out there. That's a real good example. If something happened in like in that little hamlet, little town of Martinville, Mississippi, you don't see Hazelhurst coming out there. or Western police coming out there. You don't see them coming out there. They ain't coming out there to see what's going on. They gonna handle it. So there ought to be some type of jurisdiction issue situation here in the city of Jackson. That's just my opinion. That's just my opinion. You know, if we need your assistance, then we ask. Then we get on the horn and say, "Hey, look, listen." I mean, it's just like the FBI. If it's an FBI issue, then they need to call an FBI. But if it's something that they can handle, ain't no need to call the FBI. For what? For what? Just let the FBI stay over there. Let them do their job over there. You know? So, I'm just, hey, that's just how I feel. Straight up. That's just what it is. They know their place, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, we got an FBI department here. I mean, the NBI, the Mississippi Bureau of Narcotics. Then was it Mississippi Bureau of Investigation? They ain't getting involved. They don't be involved in Jackson police affairs. And they got and like they just as how can I say it? What's that word I'm looking for? They got authority just like they do. NBI got just as much authority as the Jackson police do. So come on, let's keep it a buck here. Let's keep it a buck here. Separate these. If it's a separation of powers thing, make it a separation of powers thing. Make it a separation of powers unless they need some assistance. If I don't need no assistance, I don't need you coming out here. Just like, Kenneth Stokes was talking about the police chases and stuff. Come on. You got Clinton, you got Pearl. They're coming over here in the city of Jackson chasing these. Okay, that's cool. But get on the horn and call Jackson police or Capitol police to come in and assist. You're in their jurisdiction. Show them some respect. Period. Point blank. Show them some respect. You ain't showing them no respect. Clinton do it. Yo, come on, man. Man, Clinton had these folks. I remember one time Clinton came all the way down off of Ketchens, chasing somebody out of Clinton for cause he was shoplifting. I think the car flipped over or something or whatever. Had guns drawn and everything. They ain't called Jackson police or nothing. Didn't get on the horn and call Jackson police or nothing. They coming with a chase. They think they got all authority. And Jackson police come out there, blocking off the streets and all that kind of jazz. What the hell they is? Maintenance folks? Come on, man. Keep that a buck. Keep that a buck. So, let's just look. They need to get it together. I thought 9/11 showed all of the police all across America how to do this thing after New York City band together. They band together. I'm talking about police, the fire department, because the fire department and the ambulance service is up under one anyway. But the police department, the sheriff department, everybody that was that had some type of they had that type of authority. They all on the same frequency. They're all rocking and rolling on the same. They're all gonna respond. And I'm thinking that everybody around here, around these neck of the woods and in other places would have learned from that. If something happens Case in point. If something happens in Clinton can't handle it, who they gonna call? They gonna call the sheriff department? They need assistance. They gonna need some immediate assistance. Here come Jackson. Here come Captain Police. They all should be on the same wave. I mean, it's like they right there. They right across city limits. Y'all all should be on the same. Y'all should be on the same band frequency. Because when y'all put out, because when something go down, y'all put out an APB. Y'all put out an APB. Well, okay, there should never be an APB. An APB should be on all the time. An APB should be out all the time, period. Police need to be, because if something is coming in that area, that police officer who's on that beat should know about it. Off the rip. Because something could be coming in that area from outside the city limits. If something was coming, if something was coming towards my house, I want to be notified. Hey, yo, something finna happen, kid. Cat just ran up in your spot, he ran up in your garage. Man, I'm coming out there with that thing, off the rip, blind and all, coming out there with that thing. Do you want to be in the midst of heat seekers getting thrown at you? No, you don't. No, you don't. But what I'm saying is, you want to be notified. You want to be notified of the danger. Whether you need to dip out the back door, if there's something in the garage, you need to dip out the front door, or you need to, you know what I'm saying, or the police coming or something like that, or whatever. Or even if the police got somebody down on the ground in your yard or something like, you want to know. You want to know what's cracking. It's the same thing. Man, please. Folks be tripping, man. They tripping. Everybody nobody want to keep nobody in the loop because everybody trying to make a name for themselves. Look, it's supposed to be a team here. You still gonna get paid? Then you still on the clock. If we all brothers we all the same, we all in the same brother fraternity of the police, then that's what it is. We all need to stick together. Whether you from Jackson, whether you the Capitol Police, whether you Clinton, whether you Pearl, it don't make no difference. Whether you Flowwood, whatever, you know what I'm saying? If Jackson is in the middle, and you got Clinton, you got Pearl, you got Ridgeland, you know what I'm saying? You got what's that? I don't know. What is that? Richton. Well, whatever cities that surrounds Jackson. I know you guys said Flowwood, but whatever, all the cities that surround Jackson, they all should be up under one. Not up under one rather like that, but they all should be up under one in terms of communication. Because if something's going down in Pearl or Flowwood, and it's coming into Jackson needs to be notified, so they can be on alert. Yo, that something gonna coming down Lakeland Drive, yo, this is where you need to be. He on his way. He gonna be about 15 minutes. We right behind him. All right, we in place. Man, folks ain't doing that. They tripping. Trying to make a name for themselves, especially when there's some bread involved. Oh my goodness gracious, they be tripping, man. I swear, they be tripping. Big buses and all that mess, they be tripping. Especially when that bread be involved, like drugs or whatever. Come on, man. Now look, they talking about they be burning up the pounds of weed and all of that. You know what I'm saying? disposing of the cocaine and all that mess. But what they do with the bread? No, come on, man. Let's keep that a buck here. They ain't nobody stupid. Come on, Jackson, talk to me. You know what's up. That's what's going on, though. And that's what's going on. I ain't gonna stay there. And you know what I'm saying? I ain't talking about tattoo law. I just wanted to kind of like, there's a lot going on. A lot going on. So, but, like I said, I hope they get this thing straight with the city and, with the new chief of police. And I wish the best for Jackson. I ain't with all that negative talk, whatever, about Jackson, this, that, whatever, because everybody's got problems, you know what I'm saying? And, the growth and development of this city should be number one. The growth and development of this city is number one, and that's the resident. That's the taxpayer. That's the growth and development. The city's going to stay where it is. You can't, you know what I'm saying? It's going to stay where it is, but the growth and development of the people and the operation of the city is where it needs to be. You know what I'm saying? I know some people out there talks about, this, that, or whatever, about Jackson or whatever, and this, that, but look, I hear a lot of, private comments and all that kind of stuff about Jackson and this, that, whatever. All them jokers ain't gonna do nothing, this, that, whatever the case may be. But if you're not part of the solution, and you are part of the problem, and it's just like, look, you got your own opinion, and look, you're entitled to it. But if you live here and you're not doing anything, just sit back and watch like a spectator. If you don't live here and you ain't part of the solution, you need to sit back and be quiet and be a spectator, because this city is not gonna help the city with you bashing it and trying to plant seeds in the mind of those that's trying to attempt to move the city forward. They want to do something, but they don't know how, but then you constantly in their ear. Come on, man. Whether you're a family member or whatever, I don't care. You could be a podcaster. I don't care who you are. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't make a difference. But if you're not saying anything positive, or you're not trying to do anything. You're not trying to do anything, so you need to just kind of, sit back and be a spectator. Because like I said, Jackson is not. Let me tell you something. Jackson is not as near as bad as what people think it is. People think Jackson is this, that, and whatever. They say, well, why is no businesses coming in here? Well, hey, no businesses coming in because there's a lot of factors in it. The taxes, number one. That's the number one reason why a lot of businesses is leaving, because these taxes. And then they say, well, and it's crime. Okay, well, it was crime when you know it was crime before you even came in here. Just like that daggone grocery store up there on Terry Road. Come on, man. Y'all can say what y'all want. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I'm gonna keep it a buck. That bastard knew that there was crime. But you ain't do shit to try to deter it. Come on, man. You want somebody else to do the job for you? Nah, bro. You got something else cracking. I don't care what nobody say. That cat that left, he had something else cracking. I don't care what nobody say. They can say whatever they want. Because I'm like this. Why would you leave a city high and dry in that particular area and you got residents over there? I mean, you ain't care about the city no way. Because if you cared about the city, you could have said, yo, let me talk to somebody else to see if they want to come take over this thing. Let's talk to the citizens, and let's see if the citizens talk to the council or the mayor, and let's talk to them and see if we can get like a pool where the citizens can come and take over this grocery store, or something like that, or some type of solution to remedy the problem. Come on, man. Man, that dude didn't care. He didn't care about nothing. The only thing he cared about was his bottom line. That's all he cared about. He cared about his bottom line. That's all he cared about. He cared the fact he only thing he cared about was the fact that he. Oh, my camera is not. We good. He only cared about the fact that whatever it is he had going on, he's ready to bounce. He's ready to be out. I ain't never seen nothing like it. I ain't never seen like when Albertsons left, Brooks just came in. No controversy. Remember? When Albertsons left, Brooks just came in. He could have did exactly what they did, and it would have been nothing in the news. But did he want to do that? No, he did not. Did he want to give somebody else an opportunity? No, he did not. So, look, I mean, this is what happens. That's why I say that's the tally. That's the tally up of what I get when you know of the way I look, the way I reviewed this. He didn't care about Jackson from the beginning. He just trying to make some money. He's trying to make some money, and he probably found another community that he gonna go in and patronize and open up a store, and he gonna do his thing. He gonna do his thing. He probably got a better tax incentive. He could have got a better deal. They make deals all the time. Frank Milton put, I think, what was it, Frugals? I can't remember what it was, but Frank Milton put one of them. No, it was McDade's. Frank Milton helped put McDade's over in Western Plaza. Come on, man. Come on. Let's keep that a buck here. Somebody probably offered him a better deal from another municipality. Probably did. Who knows? I don't know. But I know one thing. Those people in South Jackson didn't deserve that. The people over in South Jackson did not deserve that. And then you got these companies. Then you got some of these people from out of town, or I don't know wherever they're from. They may not be from out of town. They may live right here in Jackson. They got big vacant lots where they could put a grocery store at, and they don't. And they sitting on the property, probably paying the property taxes or whatever the case may be. But then at the same time, they just sitting on the property. See, ain't nobody talking about that. Nobody, come on, man, ain't nobody talking about that. There's a empty lot on Robinson Road, like going towards like if you coming from like towards Capitol Street, going all the way up towards the Metro Center on that side, right? Okay, it's like it's an empty lot. It's an empty lot. Like when you pass, I say like when you pass Lindsay, when you pass Lindsay, you know, that truck stop right in that area. But there's an empty lot right there. You know what I'm saying? I'm just talking about how that lot been sitting there forever. Forever. How many empty lots is sitting over in South Jackson? I don't know, but I'm quite sure that there are. How many empty businesses is sitting? Come on, man. Get out of here with that. You mean to tell me nobody is trying to acquire it? Man, bro. If that dude was serious about that business, number one. First of all, I'd be reaching out to the other business owners in that area. Reaching out to them. We all looking out for each other. Build this community up. Let us all, we all business owners, let's put our bread together. Let's put a business improvement district up in here. Have our own security personnel. Have our own camera system. Link it up to the command center. Link it up to Hinds County's command center if they got one. I don't know if they do or not, but I think they do though. Link it up to their command center. Link it up to City of Jackson's command center. Have your own command center. And rock and make this thing happen. So, I mean, but like I said, too much like right though. You know that. Come on, Jackson. Come on. Leave me a comment. Leave me a comment. For real. It's too much like right. It's too much like right. But, hey, what can I say? This is the world we live in. It's the world we live in. Well, that's it for me. I'm finna get off here. I just wanted to kind of, talk about some things for a minute and everything like that. I love Jackson. This is my home now. I mean, it's all good. And we're going to keep doing our thing here until something happens. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I want to see something good happens here in Jackson. I don't care what nobody say. People out here can do whatever they want, say what they want to say. I can't stop them, but I'm gonna say something positive all the time. I'm gonna say something positive all the time because I want the city to grow. I really want the city to grow. I want to be able to. I want to be able to be in a position to come in and help. Just doing this podcast is like my contribution to the city. I want to have make a good contribution to the city, and this is my contribution. Until we can monetize this thing and get this thing moving and grooving. You know what I'm saying? Because, like I said, Jackson deserves more. Jackson, Mississippi deserves more. We match in Mirror Flint, Michigan. We are matching in Mirror Flint, Michigan. And Jackson, Mississippi deserves more. But that's it for me. Yo, we catch y'all tomorrow. And we talk to y'all soon. Peace.